Hello everyone, I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring, the pioneer for helping you to preparing for the examinations such as IELTS, OET and PTE. In today's video, I'm going to assess one of my students' letters and provide word-by-word feedback plus the overall score and the assessment against each parameter. Let's go through this now. So the student has written down the addressee's contact details on the top, so that's good. And she has given a blank line between the date and the addressee's details. That's good. And then she has written on the date. That's good. And then she has written on Dear Miss Piper. Okay. Remember that we need to write down the full name of the addressee or the patient only once. And from there onwards, we have to either use the surname of the addressee or the first name or the surname of the patient, depending on the age of the patient. Okay, so she has done a good job here. That's good. Let's go through the next one. So she has written on the reference details of the patients. That's good. Okay. The next one is, I'm writing to refer Miss Keating, who has been experiencing an infection of skin graft on her right forearm. Your further evaluation and medical management would be highly appreciated. Usually, this sort of sentence structures could have been replaced with the services required for the addressee. Okay, I mean, what she could have done is she could have written down like this. Okay, instead of writing this full stop, she could have placed a comma here, and then okay, let me write it down. I'm writing to refer Miss Keating, comma, who has been experiencing an infection of skin graft on her right forearm. Okay, right forearm, forearm, for further evaluation, further assessment or further evaluation and ongoing management or medical management. Okay, so whatever, ongoing management. I mean, this would have been great. Okay, so she has written down these sentences without any grammar mistakes. I'm very happy for that. However, it's better to write down only one sentence in the introduction paragraph. One of the OET assessment criteria is to check whether you're able to use a range of sentence structures such as simple, complex, and compound. All right, so if you have good control on the use of a range of sentence structures, you should be able to get a good score. Okay, let's go to the next one. Socially, Miss Keating lives with her parents and siblings who have been receiving unemployment compensation. Okay, let's say Miss Keating, she must have used a capital K. Okay, remember that whether it is the first name or the surname, you have to write down the names with the capital letter in the beginning. Okay, so you should have written on capital K rather than small k. Okay, she has been continuing conflict with her family. She has been continuing conflicts. Like a conflict. It's not conflict actually. She could have mentioned conflicts because it's not. It couldn't be one conflict, right? So it could have been many, I believe. So it's better to use plural nouns. Okay. Medically, Miss Keating complained of burns on her right forearm. Burns on her right forearm, which was suspected of being self-harm. Okay. Okay. So let's say when she used which was, okay, the subject of this verb, okay, is not forearm. It is the burns. The burns were suspected of. So she would have mentioned where. It's not was. Okay. So she should have mentioned where. Okay. They were suspected of being self-harm. Okay. And remember that for all the words that starts with the self. Okay. For example, self-confidence, self-harm, self-abuse, and so on, you have to use an hyphen in between, and it's going to be one word only. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay, so she should have written down self hyphen harm. That's the correct way of writing down this. I think the same mistake was committed by her in the following sentence as well. Look at this one. Okay, also she has been suffering from depression and an episode of self-abuse. All right. Again, you should have written down self-abuse with an hyphen in between. So it's going to be one word only. Please do not write down two words. Okay, right. This one, she has been suffering from, um, she has been suffering. It's better to use something else, because this is the informal word. So she must have mentioned she has been experiencing, instead of writing suffering from, it's better to use experiencing. Okay, depression and an episode of self-abuse. Following her skin grafting, she was discharged on 15 September. So for all the months, okay, whenever you write any month, you have to write down the capital letter in the beginning. So yes must be the capital letter in this case. Okay, the use of capital and small letters appropriately helps a lot. You need to be really careful about that. Okay, when Miss Keating presented on 2 October, she was diagnosed with an infection of. You don't need to use the capital S here. It must be a small s only. So she was diagnosed with. She was diagnosed with an infection of the skin graft. During her hospitalization, daily dressing was performed. There must be a comma here. So remember that whenever you write down, a period or during the hospitalization, things like that, you have to place a comma after that. Okay. So please place a comma here. Please place a comma here. Daily dressing was performed and has been visited by on a regular basis by, and she has been and she has been visited. Okay, so she has been visited, and has been visited doesn't make sense. Okay, because and has been doesn't go with the previous part of the sentence. Okay, because they mentioned during hospitalization daily dressing, so you can't use daily dressing has been visited. Okay, that's wrong. And she has been visited on a regular basis by a psychiatrist. So add this, please. All right, let's go to the next one. After Miss Keating discharge, it's not Miss Keating discharge. She should have mentioned Miss Keating's discharge. It must be apostrophe. So you should have written down apostrophe and then yes when you write down, the discharge, because it's gonna be belong to her, right? So you should write this one. She requires monitoring of her. She requires monitoring of her. So add this one. monitoring of her Monitoring of her grafting and donor site for any complications, including the follow-up visits to psychiatrist. Okay, donor site for any complications, including follow-up visits to psychologist. Okay, so I think this one she has messed up. She has um, I think she has mentioned like during the follow-ups to psychologists. Okay, so she must have mentioned during the follow-up visits to psychiatrists. She must have used this. Okay, follow-up visits, and it's not following up, it's follow-up visits. Follow-up. Okay. All right, let's go through the next one. Please note that she is on so it must be small s. Please note that she is on medication. She is on medication. You don't need to use she is on medication when there is only one medication that is mentioned. Okay, so you can remove this. Remove this, please. You can write down only she is on medications. She is on, sorry, she is on oral ampicillin, 250 milligrams 4 times a day. In a day is not needed. You can just mention 4 times a day. That's okay. All right. There's no grammar mistake, but it's better to write 4 times a day. If in the case notes they have mentioned a daily, you can change it to a day, okay, or every day. I mean, you need to show a variety of words in your letter, and it will be necessary to stop on, okay, which needs to be stopped on. Okay, so instead of writing, it will be necessary to stop on. What you could have written down is which requires to be seized on. Okay, which requires to be seized on. All right. So instead of writing the compound sentence, you could have written down the complex sentence. Okay. All right. In light of the above, instead of writing in light of the above, it's better to write down in view of the above. Okay. So in view of the above is more appropriate. It's more formal than in light of the above. Kindly assess and manage your condition as you feel appropriated. No, it's appropriate, and then it's appropriate. Okay. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. So appropriate, that's okay, as you feel appropriate, and provide. Okay, so it's better to, because she requires both the further evaluation and management, isn't it? So she has mentioned it here. That's good. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Yeah, that's all right. But for some questions, for some sentences, she used the active voice instead of the passive voice. But let me give you the feedback. All right. Okay. Grammar needs to be improved because she has committed several grammatical mistakes. Connectivity is all right. Connectivity is all right. Vocabulary could have been better with the use of more formal words and synonyms. Okay. Case notes were organized in a well structured manner. Well done. That's a good thing. The way you have written down the sentences could have been better. I mean, you could have used more complex and compound sentences, okay, instead of writing down the complex sentence alone or simple sentence alone. Okay. All right. Use of punctuation marks could have been better because she didn't use punctuation mark, I think, in one location, so it could have been better. Okay. And then the use of small and capital letters needs to be improved. All right. The use of syllables. So you need to know how the syllables look like. Okay. The use of syllables is not up to the mark. Okay. All right. Connectivity, vocabulary, all the case notes were included. Okay, so all the relevant case notes were included. That's another good thing. Prepositions, articles, and tenses were used effectively and appropriately. So that's a good thing as well. All right, let's go to the score now. Okay, what would be the expected score for this one? Okay, let me go through the mistakes she has committed first. Okay, so her introduction paragraph is all right. I have just written on only one sentence. Otherwise, it's okay. It doesn't have any grammatical mistakes. She needs to use, she needs to know what words are the syllables, and she needs to use the capital letters and small letters appropriately. And she also needs to use the formal words only, more than the informal words. So looking at the mistakes, going through the assessment on each parameter, to me, this letter sounds like a 280 out of 500 graded one. Okay. I wish you good luck with your future letters. If anyone would like to receive a word by word assessment for your letter in the OET examination, please do send it to me. You can reach me on my mobile or WhatsApp number, that is +61468480877, or you can contact me on my email address, that is steve@ucanenglishtutoring.com. I have a Facebook page as well, that is www.facebook.com/ucantutoring. There is a website as well. If you wish, you can contact me there as well. All right. And yeah, I wish you good luck with your practice. And I hope you guys are able to achieve your desired scores. All right. If you need any help, please do send an email to me. All right. Thank you for watching this video. And may I request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share and like this video if you find the techniques are helpful to you. If you learn something new, I would recommend you to like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this video and have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.